Of all the undeniable truths that these videos can make pretty clear, there are two things that I think could be argued. Number one, aside from Pearl Jam, my brother loves Bruce Springsteen. And number two, my brother's always looked out for me. One of the most memorable moments that we've had happened a couple of years ago, about a year and a half ago. And I thought I had talked about this before, but I realized that I hadn't. So, Robert can be kind of a trickster, and I can be the most gullible person on the planet. So, when I got a text from my brother that asking me if I wanted to meet Bruce Springsteen, I was sure that he was fucking with me. No, he told me he was serious. Bruce Springsteen was doing a tour for his new book, Born to Run. And it just so happened that the tour included a stop in Atlanta. And the tickets included a signed copy of the book and a chance to meet the boss in person. You know, aside from the songs on the radio, Robert really was the one that introduced me to Bruce Springsteen's music. And there's a huge similarity between Bruce Springsteen and Pearl Jam. And I'm not talking about like the political affiliation or whatever. I'm talking about how their music surpasses the songs that they record on an album. You know, it's the combination of the music and the live experience. And it's an uncommon gift that Bruce Springsteen and Pearl Jam share. They have the ability to make the songs sound better when they're performed live. And every show is unique. It's like an individual gift. It's a moment in time that they create for every fan. It's amazing. When you reach the level of fame that they have, I can only imagine the temptation to have a dedicated set list, no surprises, night after night. You can just phone it in. And I'm not knocking any particular artist, but that's not something that Bruce or Pearl Jam do, and I appreciate it. But back to the story. So when I arrived at this location in early November of that year, I arrived about an hour later than Robert did. And the line was already 200 people deep. And Robert and his wife and his daughter were already way ahead of me in line. And it took about 2 hours to finally get in. But I made it. I remember walking up to Bruce and telling myself not to stutter and remember to thank him for the impact that his music had on my life. And I was shocked as I approached him because he seemed shorter than I would have expected. But he reached out and he shook my hand, and I said that it was an honor to meet him and told him that his music helped me through some really rough times. And he said in a soft voice, "God bless you." And it was a huge moment. I mean, honestly, it's a prized possession of mine, and it's all thanks to my brother. One last thought before I sign off. You know, earlier on this year, as Robert and I began contemplating this trip to Chicago, and we hear about these new shows being announced, and we were starting our daily back and forth about these shows, he sent me this text. "I know you will probably laugh when I say this, but just as you and I met Bruce Springsteen, I believe you and I will meet Eddie Vedder. Not sure how, why, or when it happens, but for some reason, I think you and I will." Not only do I have a feeling that this will happen, but I can guarantee it will. I promise. Because this one's on me. I owe it to you, Robert. And we're still waiting at the time I'm recording this for Pearl Jam to come out and start the home shows. So I hope they have a great show. I'm really looking forward to the set list. This is 10 days and counting. Cheers.